Mm, In our last session, we have installed SQL Server and we have created a table, inserted data into that. So let's see. This is our database, DE training. This is what we are using for our training. So let's select that here. So you can select it from the drop down here. Let's see here. Whenever you click on the drop down, you are getting it. Otherwise, you want to write a command, you can write it here. Use database. Sorry, use DE training. So right now it is master here. Once I execute this, it will change to the training database. Let's execute it. See here, automatically it has changed, right? So now inside that we have our tables. I think customer and employees. Let's see in which table I inserted the data. In order to look at the data available in the table, you can use select a star from the table name. Okay. The square brackets are optional. Whenever we are dragging and dropping, it comes by default. So even without those brackets, you can execute it. Okay, now we have two rows in this table. So last time I'm telling you the insert, various ways to insert the data. Let's see. We have done insert into table and values in the same order as that of the column names in the table. Another way is we have inserted into the table, specified the column names, all the column names, and we have inserted in the same order uh, what we have defined in the table. Let's see, insert into D schema dot customers. So specify the columns. Let's say I don't want the columns in the same order. Let's say I want to mix it. Like first I want to insert into location, then into customer name, and then customer ID and age. Let's say this is the order I want to insert, right? Values. So ID number 2, name let's take from participants, okay? Name. Sorry, this is not the ID. The first one should be location. See here, whatever you have passed in this place, that should be the first value. It should be in the same order. The value should be in the same order. Location, let's say. Oh, what's the mistake here? Okay, let's see. Hmm. Customer ID 2 and age, let's say 25. Let's run it. Okay, one row is affected. Let's look at the data again. So let's start from the schema. I'm writing it here to show you it works without brackets. Okay, even though we have mixed the columns here, the data is inserted properly. Okay, location into location, name into name, ID into ID, and age into age. Right. So let's say I don't want to insert values into all the columns. I just need to insert into few of them. Okay, insert into only few of them. Let's change this. Customer ID, customer name, and location. Let's say I only know these details. I don't have the details for the age. Let's say age is also not, for now it's not required. Let's say. So another customer from Bangalore. Let's see the names. Okay. Uh, Customer ID is 3. Sorry, I changed the order, right? Customer ID 3, location. Okay, so execute it. One row is affected. And how does the data looks like now? See here, age is not provided, so it will be null. Okay, age is not provided, it will be null. Let's say for another customer, I know the age, but I don't know from which location the person belongs to. So let's remove the age. Sorry, say location. Let's take another uh, name and age. Let's say 26. Okay, one row is affected. Okay, so here now the location is null for this person ID 3 and this is age is null for this person. I have forgot to update this ID. Later we'll do that. Okay, so either you can insert into all the columns without specifying the column names in the same order. First customer ID, name, location and age. Or if you want to don't follow the order, you want to provide the values randomly, not in the order. So here whatever order you want to provide the values in the same order, you should select the columns on the target. Okay, so whatever order you want to maintain in the values, the same order you should follow in the column names, then it will fit into the proper columns. Okay, so that's about the insert. We will see few more inserts later. Okay, now let us say here we are selecting all the columns. Star represents all the columns. Let's say I want to know only few columns. I want to select only few columns. Okay, select customer ID, customer name from this table. Okay, I just want to know the ID and name. Okay, you have got only ID and the name. Select only required columns. Okay, these are called columns. Customer ID, customer name. These are the columns. Vertically, they are called columns, and horizontally, these values row 1, row 2, 3, 4, 5, they are called rows, columns, and rows. Okay, so like this, you can select only the required columns. Now, let's say I want to know the customers whose ID is only one. Okay, select star from customers. I am slowly going into other topics. Please focus here. Here I have selected only required columns. Here I am going to apply a filter where customer ID equal to 1. Okay. So this is like in an Excel file, you have a data. You want to just filter on customer ID equal to 1. That is how you write it in the SQL. Select star from the table. I want all the columns from the table whose ID is equal to 1. So let's apply filter. Okay, only these two persons are having the ID one. And one more thing we have been writing without discussing is every query should end with a semicolon. Even though if you don't end with a semicolon, that is also fine. But to make understand this as the end of the query, you should end that with a semicolon. Okay, every query should be ended with semicolon. Okay. So now you have selected the columns where ID equal to 1. Or let's say I want to select only few columns, ID and name from this table along with the filter. Okay, along with filter. So we are slowly going into little complicated level. This is not at all complicated, just telling you. Okay. So yeah. we have selected only few columns on the required customer ID. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Before that, let me select. So if you don't want to execute the where clause, just want to execute it till some part of the query, you can just select that part, highlight that part and run it. Okay. So even though I have applied customer ID equal to 1, that was not selected and not executed. So that's how it works. Now let us say I want to know the customers whose age is null, first. Okay. Select star from customers where age, if you might be thinking, we have written customer ID equal to 1. So similarly, you might think here we should be writing age equal to null. Let's see if age equal to null, what happens. Okay, it is not giving anything because this is not how it works. These null columns should be used with is null or is not null. Null means empty. In SQL, we have null means empty. In Python, we have none, N-O-N-E, that is empty. So, null and none. Okay. In SQL, it is null. So, we should treat them with is or is not. Is null. Uppercase or lowercase, it doesn't matter. It works both the way. Okay. Only for this person, age is null. Similarly, location is null. I want to know the customers whose location is null. Okay, location is null. So
Then,
nulls.
in
Sorry.
that case, location is Bangalore. It will work.
Look, is not work. It will write. We should write location equal to Bangalore. Only for the nulls, we should write the word is. For the other values, for some valid values like 1 or 2 or names, we should definitely write equal to. I'll show you. Wait a second. Is null. Nulls should always be retrieved using is or is not. Okay, here we are getting the nulls. So let's say I want to get not null values. I want to just see not null values, which means location is not null. Okay, so here in this case, it has given all the rows where location is not null. Let's say you want to get the city equal to Bangalore. You should not write is here. It should be equal to. Only for the nulls, we need that the word is. Otherwise, it should be equal to Bangalore, or if you don't want the city to be Bangalore, you want something else, right? Not equal to. Not equal to should be written like this. This is not equal to. Sorry. Location not equal to Bangalore. Okay, let's run it. Okay, it has given all the other locations other than Bangalore. Not this is the meaning of not equal to. So it will also work in another way.
Then in that case, it should be give null value as well, right?
No, nulls will not be considered. Null is not equal to any value. That's the tricky thing. Good catch. So that's the tricky thing. Null will not be catched. It should not be equal to any other value. Null is not equal to any value. That's why it did not come into the comparison. I'll come to that later. Okay. So not equal to Bangalore. So here also nulls are not considered. Whatever condition you write, equal to, not equal to, in or whatever it is, it will not consider nulls. You have to take care of the nulls explicitly. Okay. So not equal to Bangalore or location is null. Okay. So now we have got the location. Nulls should be treated separately. Whenever you are writing not equal to or not in operator I did not discuss yet, but still I'm telling you. So whatever you are trying to check certain values, null should be treated separately. They will not come into the default expressions. Not equal to, yes, null is definitely not equal to Bangalore, but that would not come here because null is not comparable with any value. That's the reason it is not showing. Okay. So now let's see. I want to know the customers who belongs to Bangalore and also Hyderabad, both of them. Select star from here. If you see unknowingly, we have written one more expression or either the location should be Bangalore or location should be null. Okay, or means one of them should be true. If one of the conditions is true, then the data will be retrieved. Or condition means only one of them should be true, or both can be true. You know the logical statements, right? And means both the conditions should be true, then only the result would be given. In case of or condition, only if one of them is true, it works, or if both are true, then also that is fine. The least criteria is that at least one should be satisfied. Hmm. Now, what? Okay, I want to know the multiple locations, customers who belongs to Hyderabad and also Bangalore. Schema dot customers where uh, location in. We have to write the word in when you are checking for the multiple values. Bangalore and Hyderabad. Okay, only these three rows belongs to Bangalore or Hyderabad. Let's say you will write not in. When you write not in, nulls will not come into place. Not in. Okay, so only the other location Chennai is given. Null. We did not consider nulls. I mean, the query did not consider nulls. They have to be handled separately. Okay. So even though if you write null here in null, it doesn't work. Let's see. See here, location null is not giving. So it doesn't work this way. Null should always be treated with is or is not. Okay, that's about selecting the data. Now let's say I have another requirement. Let's query this. I want to know the customers who belongs to Hyderabad, but age should be greater than 25. Greater than 25. They belong to Hyderabad, but age should be greater than 25. Let's see. Start from customers where age greater than 25 and location equal to Hyderabad. I'll show you the difference between and or. Okay, so only there is one person whose age is greater than 25. 25 will not be considered because 25 is not greater than 25. Okay, so let's see the same condition with or. And observe the difference in the output. So with the first condition, we have got only one row as the output. With the second row, I have got three rows. Why and how? Let's see. So age is greater than 25. In the first case, yes, age is greater than 25 and city location is also equal to Hyderabad. Here, both the conditions are satisfied. And in case of second one, age is not greater than 25. 25 not equal to 25 not greater than 25. This condition is not satisfied, but still the result is given because the other condition is satisfied. Location equal to Hyderabad. This is satisfied. And in the third scenario, location is not Hyderabad, but age is greater than 26. So this is how the OR condition works. If at least one of the condition is true, it will successfully return that row. But in case of AND condition, both should be true. It should be Hyderabad and it should be greater than 25. So that's why only the first row was given with the AND condition and 3 rows with the OR condition. Okay, these are called logical operators and OR. Okay, we have seen in and not in. So also let's see, we want a range of numbers or range of dates. Let's see. I want to know the customers whose IDs are within the range of 1, 2, 3. Okay. Schema dot customers where customer ID. So instead of customer ID, customer ID is fine. Customer ID between 1 and 3. Okay. Customer ID between 1 and 3. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, not beyond that. Okay. So these are the customers who fits within this range. Between, we have to use the word between when you are checking some range. It might be on the date columns or it might be on the numeric columns. Okay. Between works only with the numeric or the date fields. It doesn't work with the strings. How can we say between A and between C? It doesn't understand. Okay. So that is about between, in, not in. We have discussed most of the things. Let's see. Now I want to update these null values to some values. Okay. First of all, let's try to get only the nulls. Select star from. We'll go column by column. T schema dot customers where age is null. So wherever age is null, I want to set some default value like default value. Okay. So wherever age is null, I want to update it to some default value. Maybe let's say 22. 22 as the default age of the customers. Uh, Wherever it is not available. If the customer has already provided their age, that's fine. In case you don't have it, I want to fill it with some values. For that, you have to write a update statement. Okay. Update. So what do you want to update? This table. Update the table. Set. What do you want to set? Age. Age equal to 22. For which rows you want to set? Where age is null. Okay, wherever the age is null, only for those rows I want to set the value to 22. All other values should be the same. Whatever I have given during the insert, it should be the same. If you do not provide this age equal to null, all the rows gets updated to age 22. Okay, let's see this first. One row is affected. Let's look at the data now.
Above, one small doubt.
Yes,
Sorry, my voice is not clear. While creating a table itself, we can give default values. Maybe
yes,
you are
yes, we
taking.
can give.
Uh,
Yes, I'll tell you during constraints.
oh,
Okay, so now I have updated this. Okay, now the age is updated to 22 wherever it is null. Similarly, for address also or location also, I want to update. So now location equal to, by default, I want to specify as Hyderabad. Okay, short one. Where location is null. Update it and see the data. Okay, location is updated. Fine. Now if you see here, there is some invalid data I can say. So customer ID 1, customer ID 1. It is assigned to two persons, which is not a right scenario. Let's say you are working as an employee or you are a student in a college. The same roll number will not be given to two persons. If it is given to two persons, how do they identify um, who belongs to which number, right? So it should be unique. It should be one-to-one relation between the customer ID and the customer name. So there were some issues here. Let's try to fix that. Let's say, mm, first of all, I want to identify the customer IDs whose value is repeating more than once. Customer ID is same, but names are different. I want to know such criteria. Let's before doing that, let me insert few more rows. Customers. I'm going to insert into all the columns in the same order. Let's say customer ID 1. Again, the same name, same location. Everything would be same. Okay, maybe instead of full location, I'll give it like this. Okay, so now let us see. I want to know the customer IDs for which there are different customer names. For the same ID, we have the different customer names. I want to know that. Okay, for that we have something called group by. Okay, let's select the columns. Select. First of all, before coming to that, let's see few things. If you want to know the number of rows in a table, you need to do count of star from this table, de schema dot customers. It will give the number of rows in that table. Okay, it has given 6 rows. If you see here, count of star, it was not giving any name. It is saying no column name here. So instead of that no column, I will write some alias. Alias means some name as number of rows. Okay, now the number of rows is 6. Okay, now what I want to do for each customer ID, I want to know the count. So either here, if you see, you can write either count of star or count of any not null column. Let's see 1 second. Count of star or count of 1. Let's say I'll do multiple counts. Count of customer ID. You will get to know one thing here. Customer ID. Count of customer name. Count of location. Here we don't have nulls. Okay. Count of age. So these are all not null in our case. Okay, I did not provide the alias names for this, all of them. That's fine. Uh, my intention is to let you know how we have to provide the alias name. The same thing as count of customer ID, count of customer name, like that you can provide. So everything is 6. Let's say I want to update one of the rows to null intentionally. Let's say I will make this as null.
What is that count of one means?
It will give, it is same as count of star. So if you don't want to use star, you can use 1 also. This is a hard-coded value, just like some people use it in some projects just to get the count of rows. It is same as count of star, number of rows in a table. Okay. So intentionally, now I have made some null row into the table. Let's run this again. Okay. If you see here, Count of one. Let us also do count of star. Count of star or count of one, no difference at all. It is the same. If you want to get the number of rows in a table, you can use count of one or count of star. Not only one, count of two, count of a, whatever it is. It's the same thing. If you see, all of them are 7 because there are total 7 rows in the table, and customer IDs are 7, names are 7, locations are 6. Because for one of the entry, the location is null. So it would take into consideration only the not null values. The count is considered depending on the number of not nulls available in that column. Okay. Count is based on number of non-nulls. Sorry, number of non-nulls in that column. But count of star or count of one, it will consider on a row level. Each row it will consider as one. Okay, irrespective of whether it has nulls or not, count of star or count of one, it will give the number of rows. But when you are doing count on a specific column, it will give the number of not null values in that. You should be careful while using the columns to get the count. Okay, so now my intention is to get the number of customers for each ID. Okay, so select customer ID, comma, count of star. Let's say I'll do count of star. Count of star represents for each customer ID how many rows are there from customers table. So whenever you are using count, min, max, group by, sorry, min, max, sum, aggregates. So whenever you are using aggregates, aggregation means on the total table you are doing something like count, min, max, sum, average. So these are some of the aggregate functions I can say. So whenever you are using aggregate functions along with selecting some columns, that column should definitely be used in the group by. Group by is another new introduction for you. Group by customer ID. What I am telling to this query is, so group by means collect all the same values together. Collect all the same values together and tell me what is the count of that. How many rows are there with that particular ID? So whenever you are selecting some columns along with the aggregation, that should be definitely in the group by, then only it will be able to do the aggregation. Then only, I mean, I will ask you, tell me how many customers are there for each of the IDs. What you will do, you will see what are the similar values. Okay, one is repeating one, second time, it is third time, it is fourth time. That's how you count, right? Similarly, on the background also, it does the same thing. It will pick all the similar values and get the count of that. Let's run it. Okay, now let's see. Customer ID 1 is repeating 4 times, 2 is repeating once, and 3 is repeating 2 times. Okay, so the, also this is like you are asked to identify duplicates. Okay, you are asked to identify duplicates. Are there any duplicates in your table? Yes, in order to identify that, if there are any duplicates in the table, this is the query. Wherever it is 1, it means that there is no duplicate. If it is greater than 1, if the count is greater than 1, it means we are having duplicates. Okay. So how do I filter that? I want to eliminate this one and identify only duplicate values. Okay. This is to get the count of each customer ID. Count of rows for each customer ID. Okay. So now I want to have a condition. Okay. So, condition on the aggregation. This is a derived column. Let's say as number of rows. Okay. This is a derived column. Count of star, or this aggregation is a derived column. So whenever you are applying a filter, now I want to apply a filter where this number of rows is greater than 1. I want to apply on this count. So you should not be able to write where count of star greater than 1. That is not possible. So filters on the aggregations is not possible with the where clause. In order to use filters on the aggregations, we have another clause called having count of star. You cannot directly use this expression also because this is derived here and we cannot use that directly. So having count of star, whatever is the real derivation, that you have to use it greater than 1. See here, now you have got duplicates. These are the customer IDs whichever are repeating more than once. This is how you identify duplicates. So identify duplicates. Okay, for that you should use having duplicates, uh, comma, filters on aggregate columns should be applied using having clause. Okay, filters on the aggregate should be applied using the having clause. Otherwise, it should not work with the where conditions. Where conditions are applied only on the direct columns. Where ID equal to something or name equal to something like that you can apply, but you cannot do it on the aggregations. Count, min, max, that aggregations you cannot do. Okay, let's say now I want to find the minimum and maximum values in a table. Minimum of age and maximum of age. Let's say for minimum we have something called min of age, comma, max of age from the schema dot customers. With this, you will get minimum age and maximum age. Minimum age is 22 and max age is 25, 20, sorry, 30. As min age, this as max age. Sorry, what happened? Sorry, this is Alia's name. Age. Okay, so maybe if you want to average, you can also write that average of age as average age. So these are all the aggregations. So here we are just doing the aggregation. We are not selecting any other columns. That's why I did not use group by. Okay. So minimum 22, max 30 and average is 26. Yes. Now what else we can do? Okay. So okay, let's discuss few theoretical things and we'll implement practicality on that. So SQL commands or queries are of two types. Are of it's three types, but we are more focused on the two types. Let's say are of three types: DML, DDL, and DCL. Okay. DML means data manipulation language. I'll explain you what each of it is. Data definition language, and DCL means data control language. Also, sometimes people also refer something called DRL, which means data retrieval language. But we are not much worried about DCL or the DRL because on a high level they are only classified into these two types: retrieval language. Okay, so let's see. Manipulation language means we are manipulating the data, we are changing the data. Okay, manipulation means changing the data, changing the data. What are all the operations that comes into change? So far whatever we have discussed, one is inserting. So inserting the data, which is like changing that. inserting the data and updating the data. Okay, and also there is something called delete. We can also delete the data from the table. Sorry, I'll show you. We did not discuss the delete operation yet. So basically update, insert and delete, these comes under the manipulation because we are changing the data. Okay. So in case of definition, we are providing structure to the data. Define structure to the data. So what comes here? Mm, create table. So creating a table because we are defining some structure to the customers. We are providing some structure to the customer's data. So that is create. And we have something called alter. Alter means, let's say in the customer table, now we have 4 or 5 columns: ID, name, location and age. Maybe I want something else, okay, in that customers table. Okay, if I want to have some salary column, customers doesn't have a salary, maybe employees table, let's say we want to add some salary column, we can do that using alter statement. Alter means adding the columns or modifying the columns. So that is also on the structural level of the table, alter. And another is drop. Drop means destroy. We will see all those comments, but these comes under the definition language. When it comes to control, control means whenever you are making sub updates, you want to either save the updates or you don't want to save the updates. It is like uh, save or undo. You know, in the Excel, right? So whatever, let's say I'll type ABC, but I don't want that. I'll just do Control Z, which means undo. So redo, undo, or save or undo. So that is like commit and rollback. Commit means save and rollback means undo. Okay. Commit and rollback. By default, whatever transactions we have done so far, they are auto committed. In every SQL server, auto commit is enabled. We no need to explicitly write commit. But there are some cases where we need to write commit. Like when you're writing some stored procedures, generally people use commit and rollback extensively while writing the stored procedures. Stored procedures we will discuss towards the end of the SQL sessions. Okay. So retrieval. So in what ways we can retrieve the data? Only the select is the only way to retrieve the data. Okay, other than select, we don't have any other way in SQL to retrieve the data. Okay, so these are the types of queries we have in SQL. So we have seen insert and update. Let us also see delete. Okay, so let's look at customers table and see what we can delete. Select star from customers. Customers. Let's see what I want to delete. Okay, I want to delete these two entries. Okay, because these are all same as the first one. Okay, it is for the same customer. I just want to have the valid record for that customer. That's why I want to delete from the table d schema dot customers. Where which ID you want to delete? Where ID equal to 1. But if I say just ID equal to 1, it will delete all the 4 rows. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4. All the 4 rows will be deleted. I don't want that to happen. Where ID equal to 1 and what are the other conditions? And city equal to, let's say, either Hyderabad or null. Or I can say what other condition. If I take age, I'm telling you all the possible combinations. If I take age is same for all the 3 rows. For ID 1 we have 4, but for 3 of them I have the same ID, but I don't want to delete the first one. So I cannot take age. If I take name, again the first row also gets deleted. So the only option left is to use the location. Okay, there is a difference in the location between first row and the last 2 rows, so I have to use it. Where and ID equal to 1, that should be definitely equal to 1, and location equal to Hyderabad or location is null. Hyderabad, sorry, values and nulls we cannot write it in a single operator. That's why I'm using or condition where location is null. So if I do it like this, if I directly run this query, it will also delete for this person. Why? Because it will check if at least one of the condition is satisfied, uh, it will directly delete that. So in case of this or condition, it will see Hyderabad is satisfied. It will just drop that. No, I don't want that to happen. So it should definitely be Hyderabad and one of these conditions. So you should enclose this in a bracket. Okay, then only it will be able to understand. Okay, I have to check the satisfaction between one of these, not this one. This should definitely be true. In no way this is ignored. This should definitely be true, and one of these conditions should be true. Sorry. Yeah, one of these conditions should be true. If one of them is true and ID equal to 1, then delete it. Yes, I'm right. First write this condition with the select statement. If you're getting the proper number of rows, then you can delete it. Let's start. Before in doing any DML operations, delete, update, or insert, first look at the available data and make sure, uh, let's say you are doing a insert. First take the count of that and later you can insert that and verify how many rows you have inserted, that was inserted properly or not. Or if you are updating something, first look at the data with the condition. Here in our case, we have updated where location is null or age equal to null. First of all, I'll select the data where age is null. I'll get the count of that, count of rows of that. And when you are updating, the same count, the same number of rows should be affected. Similarly, in case of delete also, whatever conditions you are writing, just make sure they are correct. They are working as expected. How do you make sure that? By writing in the select. If I'm writing this condition in the select, my expectation is to get these two rows. If I'm getting these two rows, then I can apply it on the delete part. Customers, okay, customer ID. Okay, yes, I'm getting the expected value. Let's say I don't, I'll not use this bracket and see what happens. Okay, still we are getting two. Maybe it is applying condition on this first. These two should be satisfied and this is optional. Okay, so but always better to follow the brackets to avoid confusions. Okay, so sorry. So with this we are getting two rows. Yes, we are good to delete. That is what I want to delete. Sorry, this should be customer ID. Okay, so I have deleted two rows. Look at the data now. Okay, the two rows were deleted. Similarly, for ID number 3, okay, we will talk about this duplicates, I mean fixing these IDs later. Okay, so delete is done, insert, update, and delete is done. Okay, let's work on the update. I want to update the IDs for these customers. I don't want to have same IDs for different customers. Update this table. First, let's decide what I want to update, how I want to update. Mm, okay, for now we will go with the hard-coded values. So this should be 1. For this person, I want to make it 10. Okay, so this I want to make it 30. I'll do it hard-coded way. So update table set customer ID equal to 10, where customer name equal to Srinivas. Okay, I'm updating it in a hard coded way. Okay, so similarly for the other person also, let's do it. ID equal to 30, where name equal to, okay, I have updated. So we can make both the updates in a single statement, but that needs few other concepts, case statements. We did not discuss that yet. So we'll discuss that later. So we are good with the DML operations. Insert, update, delete. We have discussed it. Now I want to discuss about DDL. So create table we have done. Let's say alter the table. What other columns I can have for the customer? Any idea, any suggestions? Let's think of. Okay, country. I'll add country to this customer table. So now we have only 4 columns. I want to add a new column. Okay, alter table. The table name is customers. Alter table. Table name. Add the column name is country and the data type of it is varchar. I will make the length as 50 characters long. Any country should not exceed the length 50 characters. Okay. So I'm altering the table customers and adding a country column. Okay. It executed successfully. Let's look at the data inside this now. The dot customers. Okay. This is all null. We have just added the country column, but there are no values inside that. So let's try to update it. So all of them belongs to the same country anyways. Update table set country equal to India, where I want to update where that is only null. So here it is definitely null, but it's a safety criteria where country is null. Okay. So 5 rows were affected. So now all of them belongs to India. Let's say maybe we can write a state. I will add another column. I want to add state column. Let's say state is also a varchar. So they belongs to a different state now. Okay. So let's look at this table. Okay. Now the state is null. Let's say I want to add some conditions. So if it is Hyderabad, I should make it Telangana. If it is Chennai, I will make it Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and so on. Okay, so for that, I don't want to make it in a hard coded way, like where city equal to Hyderabad, then update it to Telangana. I don't want to do that way. So I want to update all of them at once. So for that, what you have to do is we have to know the case statements. First, let us discuss the case statements. Okay, what I can do? Okay, let's say based on the uh, age, based on the age, I want to derive something. So if it is greater than or equal to 30, I want to say mid age. Okay. If it is 20, between 25 to 30, including 25. If it is 25 to 30, I want to say as adult. Okay. If it is less than that, I want to say as uh, youth. Okay. Let's say my conditions are if it is greater than or equal to 30. This is just just for an example. Okay, middle age. So let's say 25, including 25 to 29. because 30 is already considered in the mid age. Equal to, I have specified equal to, which means greater than or equal to. If it is equal to 30 also, then it would be considered. We know greater than or equal to in Python. The same applies here also. So 25 to 29, I'll want to say it as adult. And anything between 20 to 25. This, let's say this is greater than or equal to 25 is also comes into adult. So 25 to 24, sorry, 20 to 24, I want to classify them as youth, let's say. Okay, this is my criteria. I want to derive that. So let's say select. I want to have all the columns from the table along with a new column state which says age category. Okay, age category. Okay, select star comma. I have to write some conditions. Case when age greater than or equal to 30. What do you want to do? Case when age greater than or equal to 30, then I want it as mid age. Okay, this is the hard coded string. I want to display that as a middle age. Okay, let's say I'm not doing anything else. If it is greater than or equal to 30, I want to mention as mid age. Else, let's say I have only two categories, adult. Okay, either mid age or adult. Let's say I have only two criteria now. When age is greater than 30, it should be mid age, else adult. I want to end it. So I should have some name to this, right? And as the column name is age category. Age category. So the column name should not be enclosed in the quotes. Only the values, whatever you are trying to have it inside the column, that should be in the single quotes. End as category from uh, customers table. I did not implement the whole logic yet. I have taken into consideration only the two parts. This is like if else condition. If age greater than or equal to 30, then mid age, else adult. I just have the two conditions now. Execute it. See here, mid age, sorry, age category is added. This is added because of this derivation, but the original table is not affected. If you look at the original table, if you do just do select star from the table, this will not have age category. Okay, this doesn't have age category. Age category is what we are deriving it here. Whatever you are doing it with the select, that will be only applicable to that query. The original table doesn't get affected. Retrieval language does not affect the table. Select is a retrieval, it doesn't affect the table. Only alter commands or the DML commands, sorry, DML or the DDL commands, it affects the data or the structure. Okay. So country and state I have done with the alter statements. That's why these columns are there forever in the table. These columns are added and you are seeing that changes on the table. But this is a retrieval. You are not able to see any changes to the original table. This is just for your some calculations you are doing this. Okay. Okay. So this is a one case statement. So let's continue it. So if it is greater than or equal to 30, if it is a middle age, if you don't have a else clause, that is also fine. If you just want to have only one condition, that is also fine. See here, only 30 is considered as mid age, remaining all are still null. Okay. So let's say now I will make all the three conditions. Greater than or equal to 30 is mid age, and when when age between 25 and 29, then adult, adult, else youth. End as age category. Right? Here we have handled multiple conditions. Okay, see here all of them are classified now. You are writing some case statements. So depending on your situation, I mean different or your requirement, we are deciding how many conditions to have it here. The order of conditions is also important. Let's say if you just specify age greater than 25 first, let me write it. Let's say I'll swap the conditions. I'll swap the conditions. Age greater than or equal to 25. I want to say as adult. Here my intention is when I'm saying greater than 25, my intention is between 25 and 29. Okay. So unknowingly, let's say you don't know that order is important, but you are just thinking that if it is greater than 25 and less than 29, it is adult, and you did not write the other condition. So here you will say age greater than or equal to 30, then it would be mid age, else youth. Okay. So now let's see what I will do. The first condition will be checked first. The second, if it is not satisfied, then only it comes to the next part. So observe carefully what happens. See here 30 is considered as adult, though it is greater than or equal to 30. It did not go into the second criteria because the number 30 falls into the first condition itself. Okay. So that's why the order of statements is very important. This thing I have explained you even if else condition, even during if else conditions in the Python. The same thing applies in every language, anywhere. The same condition applies. Order of conditions is very important, or else you definitely have to follow a strict pattern. And age less than or equal to 29. You can write between or like this. Anything is fine. Okay. Now 30 is considered into mid age. Right. So you have to be very careful with your conditions. Okay, now you are good with the case statements. Now what I want to do is I also want to derive a state. Okay, let's say I will not update it directly. First write some case statements. If that looks good, then I will update it on the table. Okay. So in this table, so this table doesn't have the category at all. Age category is not there. This is just the derivation with the select query. Okay, age is not there now. Now I want to derive the values for the state column. Okay, select star comma case when location. If the location equal to Hyderabad or there is a short form also, so I should consider both. Location in Hyderabad, comma HYD. Then the state should be Telangana. Okay, when location in, you can write just equal to or in, that's fine. Bangalore. Generally, whenever there is a single value, we will write equal to. Whenever we have multiple values, we will write in. But for single value also, you can write in, not a problem. Maybe tomorrow you will get another city in the bank in the Karnataka state. So it's always better considering the future scenarios. It would be better to write in or equal to. There is no harm in that. Okay, then Karnataka. Okay, so when mm, location in Chennai, then Tamil Nadu. Okay, this is what I want. I don't want any else conditions because I don't know what will be there in the else. Or else you have to write all the states, all the cities like that. So I don't want to bother about that now. Just this is my condition and as state. Let's see, it might throw error now. Okay, it's not throwing. Okay, anyways, we have a state column. We are adding another state column. So this derivation is correct. Now this derivation is correct. You have to update it to the table. So this is still a select part. We did not update the table. So when you just select the data from the table, it shows the table will still be null for the state column. Okay. See how the state is still null. Let's say now I want to update this table. Now in the set what I have to set state equal to. So here I have to write this case statement. So while updating, I have to do it dynamically based on the values. There is no issues with the spacing and all, but just for the readability, I'm making it align. Okay. So here we do not need the alias name because we already have a column. Into that we are updating the values. Okay. So update the table when it is in Hyderabad, Telangana, Bangalore, Karnataka, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, end it. I don't want to add any where conditions because I want to update it on the whole table. Or maybe you want to say where this state is null. Here the state is null everywhere, even though if you specify null or not null, it doesn't make any sense. Here state is null. Okay, but always better to specify this because in the future I might add few rows. The state is already updated. You don't want to update that again. So in that case, this criteria will help us. So let's run it. 5 rows were affected. Look at the data here. Now the table is affected because we have done a DML operation. Update is a DML operation. Now the data is changed. See here. Now the table is affected. So that's how the case statements works. So I will stop it here. Any doubts? Please let me know. Please practice, otherwise it might seem very simple while I am showing you, but you will face the real issues while you are trying to write the queries. I'll share the file in the chat window. Where did I save this file? 1 second. Okay. Okay. So please download that file and let me know if you have any questions. You can try some hacker rank or the lead code questions based on these topics. Let me check that hacker rank. Okay, please try to solve some challenges here on the basic concepts. Okay, any doubts in this also while solving the hacker rank, you can ask me. That's how you learn. Or you can create your own tables and try to write various scenarios. Okay, please download the file and let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, you can drop off. Thank you.